Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fourth Down Focus podcast. Week 7 now, predictions. So that means we're almost halfway through Cam Scatterbo's career. He'll be done by the end of this year. We're going to do a quick review of some of the games, not all of them, because some of them were shit, you guys. But we forgot to do the review episode, so we're just going to throw it in.
Forget.
We couldn't be bothered. We've got stuff to do, we're people. We've got things to do. So we're going to do that and then get into the predictions, and we'll have a special guest this week. Stay tuned for that. I know you're all going to love him. So, I'll pass it over to James.
And we're starting with the best game of the week. I still don't really understand how this happened. I probably won't understand it for the rest of the season, how we managed to do this. But a huge win for us against the Eagles at home. Thank fuck, because I hate this fucking Eagles franchise, and I'm so glad we literally bent them over at MetLife. It's great.
You hate the Eagles, really?
You never mentioned it.
You never mentioned it.
Did you see?
I'll say this now when you fucking talk about the Steelers in a second. Honestly, we're so fucking good when we want to be. That game was just perfect all around. Literally, basically no mistakes in the entire game from either the offense or the defense, I'd say. Saquon is shit. He's a fraud. Glad he's finally gone back to his old ways of being wank. Couldn't do it at MetLife. Shock. Eagles defense, what happened? You've been ripped apart by Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. 3 touchdowns for Scatterbo on his Eagles game debut. I'm sure he'll get many, many more against this god-awful franchise.
He won't. He's only got one more game left against him. He's going to be retired.
True. Yeah, so we're already going to have like 2 seasons of these two as our quarterback and running back because their both brains are going to be fucked in about 2 years' time, but I will enjoy the 2 years that we have very, very much. And we were the only team in the NFC East to win this week, fun fact. Just want to throw that in there.
Proud of you, mate.
Thanks.
I don't have much to say about this game because James has just covered it already. I mean, I like the exciting white combo, Cam Scatterbo, Jackson Dart. I wish we'd have taken Dart in the draft myself, to be honest. But instead, we took 2 idiots further down the board. But I don't know how this happened. I don't think any of us thought this was going to happen, and it has.
The exciting white to me. That's how it happened.
I need to start switching up my predictions and just picking like the opposite, and it'll work.
To be honest with you, I've never really liked the Giants, but it is exciting to see a white boy running a motherfucker over. So, I'm just really enjoying watching Scatterbo. I didn't enjoy the fact I was playing against him in fantasy, but also you've got Jackson Dart, your franchise guy, throwing himself at people. That would make me a little bit concerned. But no, it was a big win and not one that any of us saw coming.
No, I will also say it was really funny that video resurfacing of that Eagles fan woman on TikTok who was complaining about why we didn't take Shedeur Sanders over Jackson Dart in the draft. This is exactly why we didn't take Shedeur Sanders over Jackson Dart in the draft.
You've not seen Shedeur play.
No, but Jackson Dart has gone in and beat a 3-0 Chargers team in the reigning Super Bowl champion, so I think I'll live with the pick. I'll be honest. I think I'll live.
Did Daniel Jones ever beat the Eagles?
I think he did, but it was in like a Week 18 game where no one cared. So
I think
it was against Tanner McKee at quarterback. I'm pretty sure. I think that was the game he won. Next up.
No, keep going. No.
No, come on, we got to talk about it. Steelers Browns 23-9 to the Steelers. And as we, apart from Max, who again decided to back the Browns, and I think you've realised now that is a stupid idea because it's been right once. Back the other team because every time you back the other team, you seem to win. So
that's happened once. We've got 1 win.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This franchise have just killed me. There's a reason I'm wearing a Bears jersey today. It's because I've just given up with the Browns. Bear down. I'm a Bears fan for the rest of the season. We still not scored over 18 points in a long time. I've lost track of how long it's been now. We didn't score a touchdown in this game. The rookies still look kind of good, but no one looks interested because what's the point? Why would you be? The play calling's terrible. I've given up on Stefanski. He can fuck off. Get anyone else in. Apart from Brian Callahan, he's just left the Titans. Don't get him. He's shit.
I was going to say.
I'm still going to back us in the next fixture against the Steelers just because we always seem to split the series with them. So one of them's got to be right, surely. But yeah, I've given up. What is it, week 7 now, and I've already given up.
Standard.
I think you've touched on everything there that needs to be touched on. To be honest with you, there's not really much else that can be said. But the Browns aren't very good.
There was a pass from Dylan Gabriel that hit Isaiah Bond in the side of the head.
Yes, that was funny.
That was play of the week. Just move on, please.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I'm not going to prolong your pain. It was just not a very good game, as it tends to be any time the Browns play.
I did say it would be the worst game of the week and horrible.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns games tend to be the worst game of the week every week because your defense is actually quite good. So you don't tend to get up a lot of points. I don't think there's been many games bar that Ravens game where you've given up a fair few.
The Lions put quite a few on us as well.
Oh,
At least the Dolphins shouldn't.
I forgot about that one.
At least the Dolphins shouldn't.
We'll move on, Max, because we'll end your pain. And I would say start Keane's, but not really.
I'm still in pain.
I was going to say, it wasn't amazing.
I couldn't give less of a fuck. I'd rather we lost. We're just tanking the draft stock badly. Yeah, it's going horrendously. We've got a fucking idiot at quarterback who again threw a pick and then came out and blamed bad luck. Nothing to do with bad luck, mate. You're just shit.
He also threw another one, but that got overruled.
Yes, he did. And for anyone who isn't aware, these two boys do know, I actually drove home during this game so that I didn't have to watch Geno Smith. I could have driven at any other time of the day. I thought, do you know what? I'll leave it till about 9 o'clock. Then I'll do the 2-hour drive just so I didn't have to watch his twat under centre. And he's got to win, so he's going to... But we've won. That's the worst thing. I should be happy, but I couldn't give a fuck.
I was going to say,
burn the whole stadium down. Couldn't care less.
You like me 2 weeks ago. Yeah, no, to be fair, you did tell me to message you the score, and I sort of agreed half on the fact I thought you were going to lose. So it'll be really funny texting you about Titans touchdowns, but that didn't end up going to plan. Yeah, it was just two god-awful teams, and one is slightly less god-awful than the other. I said there is talent on the Raiders team, in places. I'm not saying everywhere, especially not in the quarterback position, because I have no idea what's happened to Geno Smith in the last sort of 4 months, because he was actually all right last year. I generally thought he'd be a decent trade for the Raiders in the end, but I think it's at the start of the season as well. If any team was likely to succeed, it would be the Raiders out of our 3, and that was wrong.
We all agreed to that.
It's a win, but it's a 10-point win and a very unconvincing win against a bad Titans team.
I feel like I've compared stuff to this win before on this podcast. Very much like the Somerville winner away at Anfield that kept Jesse Marsh in the job. It was keeping Geno Smith in the job, and we can be happy that it's happened, but he's still going to be playing next week, and that's bad.
I mean, your start Pickett campaign that you've got going on down there has not worked, has it?
No, well, apparently the next option is Aidan O'Connell.
I didn't even know he was on the team.
What's the point of trading for Pickett? Yeah, do you know what? We'll just move on to end all of our pain. We'll go to a great game of the week.
All of our pain. I'm the only one who should be upset. You two both won.
No, I'm happy.
There's nothing to smile about in life, Max. Even when you win.
I'm just waiting for the sweet embrace of death.
Well, no, there's something to smile about on your screen. The Cowboys losing again.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. I like the cheerleaders.
Without their stupid tie in Green Bay, we'd actually have the same record as these cunts now. But a 30-27 loss to the Panthers, and for some reason, apparently, Rico Dowdle is the best running back in the entire NFL. I believe he's 5th in rushing yards, having played 2 games.
That's ridiculous.
I think he's on 482 in two games, so stupid. He's certainly got revenge, over 200 scrimmage yards in both games he's played now. It's just borderline ridiculous. Just Panthers were quite good, and I know I normally don't say I'm going to fall for the Bryce Young hype, but I don't know. I'm quite tempted now because they've been all right in the last couple of games. So it'll be intriguing to see if they can build on it, because I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but they said there's 2 teams who could push on but probably won't, and it's us and the Panthers. There's potential there, but you probably won't see it. I think I probably agree. They could do it, they could be up there, but they need to sort of find a way to not lose stupid games like they have done in recent weeks and just build on what is a big win against what was, I don't know if it still is, but was the best offense in the NFL going into this game on paper, supposedly. But yeah, at least George Pickens had a day, I suppose, for Keane's fantasy sakes.
Still didn't matter.
For fantasy sakes, you traded away Rico Dowdle after having 1 week. he was on the team of my opponent. He went insane, but Dak still did enough to get my team the win. I'm 2-4. Let's fucking go, boys. Let's fucking
In fairness,
go.
I did trade away Rico, but I got Brian Thomas, who had like 25 points anyway, so I'm not too angry at it.
I can't wait to see him on Sunday. That'll be fun.
Me too.
I'll get to see Puka.
No, we'll get onto that, I'm sure.
To be honest with you,
anything to add about this game?
no, not really. Pickens is good.
The Panthers might be a little sneaky team who they're not going to get the playoffs, but like I don't know. They might just do better than everyone thought. I'll be surprised if they finish above 500 though. That's just silly.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got enough to win that many games consecutively.
Next up, Chiefs Lions, and
Boo!
I would say it's an upset, but is it really ever an upset when the Chiefs are involved? Probably not. I mean, it's sort of. I mean, we all predicted the Lions. I'm pretty sure we were all wrong. But the Chiefs come out with a big statement win, and now they even have Crashy Rice back in the team for next week, so they're looking even better now. But yeah, Lions were disappointing in this one. From what I saw on the highlights and stuff, just missed opportunities. They also said they want to split the carries more evenly between Montgomery and Gibbs, and I feel like it could be good, but also could be a bit of a daft idea when Gibbs is, well, Jameer Gibbs is Jameer Gibbs. So, yeah, for me, just the Chiefs are just inevitable, aren't they? Every year you think they've finally got worse, and all of a sudden they've spawned in players like Tyquan Thornton, who's going off most games out of nowhere, and they're still performing even with a lot of injuries. So, yeah, an annoying one for the neutral, because I don't think anyone wants the Chiefs to win any game unless they play the Eagles.
I feel like this game is just sort of more proof that there's not a clear, distinct front runner this season, which is slightly exciting. Although the fact that the Chiefs are starting to win games is scaring me a little bit. I'll be honest. It's like the devil magic is back. Maybe I hope not. But like they lost to the Jags last week. You know, this could be anyone's season really. Yeah, I hope the Chiefs don't make some sort of big comeback. But like I said in the last predictions video, I think they are just going to get 9 wins, get into the playoffs, and automatically get to a championship game, which is really annoying.
Well, I just think, well, you mentioned it there. It probably is the most open this league's been in a long time. Which, for, I mean, podcast sakes, neutral sakes, is great. But it's also very much a sort of time where the Chiefs would sneak their way all the way, not just to the championship game. They could sneak it the entire thing, and everyone thinks, oh, you know, they're finished. Maybe they're not. But I just, yeah, it's a pain seeing them win again. I enjoyed the few weeks we had where they were losing, but you know they're going to win again next week as well. So
I think the Chiefs have too much attention to sneak anything.
Yeah, they're just
true.
You never rule them out because it's the Chiefs. They're always there.
I feel like it's one of them where you almost might get to the brink of ruling them out. Very close.
I was
to
convinced after our game. I was like, they're not anywhere near as good as they were, but they've got better and better.
I still don't think they're the same team.
They're not, but they've missed like Worthy for so many weeks. I mean, Crashy's been out for the entire season, so that's not ideal because obviously he's probably their wide receiver one when he because they said they're going to give him a high workload when he comes back straight away. So it'll be intriguing to see how much better they get when he comes in.
I hope that doesn't drive him insane.
Yeah. Finally, this was probably the upset of the week, I'd say. Falcons beat the Bills. Yeah, I mean the Bills just didn't really get a second gear, and Josh Allen's a fucking prick and trying to ruin my fantasy every week. 2 picks against the fucking Falcons. But yeah, this is again further proof of what you two just said in the last bit. This league is completely open because this was a team that I think everyone pretty much didn't even think twice about predicting to win last week, and they lost. And it looks like almost scarily the Bucks might be the team to beat at the minute, or for God's sake, even the fucking Colts.
I must admit, I sort of worry a little bit about Josh Allen. He said something in his post-match press conference where he said that his girlfriend has taught him to be more than just a footballer and to be a man. And I'm thinking, you sound like a guy who's lost the hunger. Which, to be fair, if I was, I'm not going to finish the sentence, I probably would also lose the hunger for the NFL. So I get it, but at the same time, a guy who's been an absolute dog for his entire time of the year, if he starts to lose that, then it would just be a real shame to not see him win a ring. But I still think he's got a chance. I think they'll bounce back from this at some stage. They just need to sacrifice Hamlin again.
He's just having, like I said this last episode as well, he's having a bit of a slow start to the season. When that first game against the Ravens, the big shootout, everyone were like, holy fuck, he's back. He's doing what he does. And then he's just slowly sort of tapered off, and now they've picked up 2 L's as well. Especially the one last week. That was even more surprising, I'd say. So the Falcons are a pretty decent side. It's a weird one. Once again, about the Falcons, though, they are a sneaky playoff team for me. I think they could definitely sneak in.
They're awkward because every week you want to put them in, they then come out and lose them a stupid, ridiculous game like the Panthers shutout, and then you just stop backing it. So
yeah,
I won't say it just yet, but if they play like this every week, then yeah, definitely. Especially with Drake London being unbelievable at the minute. But yeah, I saw a tweet. It was quite funny. I think it was Josh Allen showing signs of Jackson Dart. I'm sure he'll get there one day after someone plays against the Falcons. So I found that one quite funny. But yeah, so that is our review.
But just a quick thing.
Oh,
so how has Justin Herbert got rid of 10 and got better? But Josh Allen's got rid of 10. And
has he got
worse.
better?
I'd say he's got better. He was at the start of the season anyway.
Have they won since he come in? Since she's been there?
She's not evolved. But at 3-0, she was still with him.
Oh, okay.
So, is it to do with their respective girlfriends? Who knows?
I wouldn't know.
I'd have to speak to them.
I'm not even gonna.
Game's gone.
So that is it for our little review section. And now we will get our special guest on, and we will move on to our Week 7 predictions.
So here he is, the special guest, introducing all the way from sunny Hull, England, representing the Miami Dolphins. It is Finn, everyone.
Yeah, very, very, very sadly representing the Miami Dolphins, but here we are.
So we'll get on with the predictions. Go on, James. I was
going to say about the Dolphins, based on the team supported in this podcast, it probably could be worse.
It fits in.
Yeah, I said that to Max, and it fits in. But
first up, boring, the unction. The combined age of 82 for the quarterbacks playing in this game on Thursday Night Football. And we've all gone with the Steelers. Does anyone want to start with this one? Because I don't.
Do we have to talk about this one?
Huh?
We have to talk about this one.
Yeah, we do, unfortunately.
Okay. Steelers are slightly less shit than the Tiger weirdos. That's all I've got to say, really.
Yeah, I second that.
These two teams' quarterbacks are that old that Wayne Rooney's just tried to fuck them. But apart from that, there's really not much else to say. It's a terrible game. I don't know why it's on so late. Like, both of them need their afternoon nap. So I struggle to see how they're going to make it through this. But yeah, give me the Steelers, man. What a terrible, terrible game.
Yeah, it's a bad game to open up the weekend. But yeah,
awful. I'll still have a bet on it though.
Yeah, well, is it money back in free bets? I hope so.
I assume so.
Yeah, it's just boring, isn't it? I mean, I thought we invented flexing games out of prime time for a reason. This feels like this would be a game that would fall into that, needed to be flexed out. Because who wants to watch this? It's too. I mean, I'm not saying the Steelers are awful because their record is just they're fine. It's just they're boring as fuck, and the Bengals are awful. I still will question every week for the rest of this season as to why the Bengals traded for a guy who can't move when their O-line is dog shit to sort of improve their quarterback problems. I'll never understand it. It is actually so bad that I think it's annoyed Mike Tomlin. The Browns have annoyed Mike Tomlin for being so stupid.
What's this got to do with us? Why are you just taking digs at me for no reason?
I don't understand this point because as much as you shouldn't have traded with your divisional rivals, you're making them worse by giving them Flacco. So I don't really understand why he's so angry.
We got a better pick.
So yeah, we'll move on because that is awful.
Yeah.
Next up, and the last London game of the series, and I think most will be there on Sunday as well. And we're split on this one. Me and Finn going with the Rams, and Kian and Max going with the Jags. So I'll let you start, Max, being the Jags representatives.
Well, go on, Max.
I just think the Rams, the last couple of games, have looked a little bit off it. And as I've said a few times, I'm behind the Jags this season. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. Brian Thomas Jr. started playing a bit better. Travis Etienne's having a good season, weirdly. So I've got the Jags. Give me the Jags. I think it'll be a good game. The last London game, which we didn't bother talking about, was fucking garbage. That was terrible. So this can't be much worse, and us three will be there. So
It
that's fun.
can.
Where are you going? Nice. But
Kian?
Well, firstly, I'm glad I'm not agreeing with you, James. As off camera, for anyone who doesn't know, James has just disclosed that he watched the Victoria's Secret fashion show last night. So, you know, it's not a
Great
guy you
fun,
want to be
mate.
agreeing with. The Rams are missing their key offensive threat, I believe. Is Puka out for this game?
It looks like it.
He's day to day, but with them going into a bye next week, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they probably won't risk it. And to be honest, I've been really impressed with the Jags. I know I said it a couple of weeks ago as well. And they seem to, you know, we always talk about how they've not really captured the London crowd. I think they have more than we think they have. This will be as much of a home game as it is in Jacksonville for them. They seem to win quite often in London. So I just think this will be the one that they get over the line. So give me the Jags.
Finn?
yeah, kind of with Puka, I was on the fence with this one, but I just think the Rams might just have a little too much for the Jags. But it could. First I said the Jags, and I thought no, I'll go with the Rams, and I said the Jags, then I went with the Rams to the final. But it's a tough one. I think it could go either way, but yeah, I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, I backed the Jags from early this season when I was getting laughed at for saying how good they were, and now I've been proven right. And I've also backed the Rams.
Lawrence.
I've also backed the Rams from the very, very beginning as well, saying I think they could get to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
And again, they've sort of hit that intro. It's a bit of, as Max said, a bit of a weird couple of games for them, especially that loss. But I just think, as Finn said, there's just a lot of quality in this Rams team, even without Puka. You still have Devontae Adams.
yeah.
Tutu Atwell will come up with big plays here and there. Tyler Higbee's consistent as a tight end as well. And Kyron, obviously, as a running back, is always going to be a threat. So I think it's just going to be a little bit too much for the Jags. But as Kian said, there is definitely going to be a home advantage as much as it would be in Jacksonville, because this is a very highly supported team in the UK, as much as people may not realise it, because it's the easy one to pick. Because why wouldn't you pick the team that turns up every year if you were new to the sport? You would pick the team you're guaranteed to see.
Wish I could.
Well, it's not that much better in all fairness, but yeah, I'm going with the Rams because I just think if you're going off teams who are more likely to go further into the year, I think it would be the Rams over the Jags. But I'm very impressed by both of these teams so far this season. I think they'll both be high. I think Rams will definitely be in the playoffs, and I think the Jags will have a very good chance, depending on their division, how that ends up going in the next couple of weeks. Next up, the Vikings versus the Eagles, and we have another clean sweep for the Eagles, unfortunately. I'll start this one. I was tempted with the Vikings until I heard JJ McCarthy was coming back, and then I'm no longer tempted to back the Vikings. I hope he isn't, because my fantasy's fucked if he is, because Jefferson's going to get like 2 receptions for 20 yards again, rather than like the 9 for 100 and something yards he's been getting every game since Wentz came in. But I believe they're both sort of still not 100% confirmed to play, Wentz and McCarthy, because they're both nursing injuries this week, supposedly. So it'll be intriguing to see what Kevin O'Connell decides to do. Eagles obviously are going to be annoyed after getting battered by the best team in the NFC East last week. So they're going to want to bite back in this one. And as I said, if it was Carson Wentz, I'd probably lean more towards the Vikings, because the Eagles are just in a bit of disarray at the minute with 2 back-to-back poor losses. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Carson Wentz is a starter, they come out and win this. But for the sake of safety on the predictions leaderboard, I'm going with the Eagles.
I've just checked the injury report. JJ McCarthy was limited in practice yesterday, and Carson Wentz did a full practice. So might be Wentz.
Was he limited in his fucking brain, or was his actual injury? Because he's absolutely shite.
See, now you're tempting me to switch if it is Carson Wentz, but I just can't see the Eagles losing 3 games on the spin either, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same with that. I'll be very surprised if the Eagles don't win this with the 2 back-to-back losses that they've had, like really poor losses. I think this week, they'll have to bounce back if they need a reaction, really. So I think I won't be struggling with this one. So I just thought the safe option and go with Philly.
I kind of agree with what Finn said. Is like the back-to-back losses. That's kind of why I picked the Eagles, because like some teams going to losing streak, you're like, oh, I thought the season's over, but it's the Eagles. Their season's not going to be over. They're going to win this division. They're going to be in the playoffs. So James, get a fucking life.
I think 4-4 when we play them next week, mate.
I think it's
Good on
going
your fashion show nonce.
I think they need to win this one, so they will. Go on, Kieran.
Yeah, I basically agree with everything that's been said by all three of you about the losing streak. It's just not going to happen. That's not the Eagles' way of doing things. They'll win this game, and I think if JJ McCarthy's in, I think they'll win it quite comfortably as well.
Yeah, I was going to say the only way I see this being close or a Vikings win is if it's Carson Wentz. If it's JJ,
It's really funny because he's the backup.
I know. It shouldn't be like. I think if you're the Vikings, you're fuming because obviously you put so much like. Well, I didn't know what you were saying. Like you've got so much faith in this guy, you draft him where you draft him, and you think he's going to be the answer for the future. And after however many games it was he played, doesn't look like he's going to be that guy. By that 1/4 quarter in his first game, for some reason, he just looked like Tom Brady for. But we'll move on to Jesus Christ, the Titans versus the Patriots, and this was probably everyone's easiest prediction of the week. The Patriots as another sweep between all four of us, and Max looks like he wants to say something, so I'm going to let him speak. And I'm assuming it's going to be about how you predicted the Patriots in the playoffs and now they're top of their division.
I just want to say that I'm a genius.
Yeah, but have you seen the division?
Exactly. That's why it's a smart pick. The division's shit, so they're getting in. They're getting into the playoffs.
Well, they raised Buffalo. I think we can't like.
Yeah, but they're frauds.
They're shit.
They're frauds. They only beat teams that are like 1-5. They're shit.
Yeah, they haven't beaten a team this season with more than one win.
Who beat the Bills, by the way? Patriots. Drake May is that guy. You keep talking about Jackson Dart being the exciting white of this league. It's Drake May. He's the exciting white, and he's taken this team back to.
They just both be exciting whites.
5 Super Bowls. He's the new Brady.
I think that's a bit much.
No.
Yeah, I can't bet the Titans anymore. I got my 1 week where I bet them and it worked. And I think I'll just leave it at that and just say I had one very nice week with them and probably not bet them again for the rest of the season. Cam Ward is useless. I think the second Callahan, but I think you're looking in the wrong direction, to be honest, because Cam Ward has been tragically bad in basically every game he's played, maybe bar parts of the Cardinals win. There were signs with that deep ball at the end to ice the game to Ridley. Apart from that, he's not really shown a lot for me, especially not for a first-round pick, which does surprise me because I did think he'd be quite good in the league, and he's just not been anywhere near it.
There's a few very bad teams this year, isn't there?
There's a few very bad teams, and all the good teams aren't as good as we expected, so it's all very mishmashy. But I'm going with the Patriots. Fairly easy prediction. They're on a very nice run of form, and I would be amazed. I'd be amazed if their run of form ended to a Titans team who look like they genuinely can only beat people if they get touchdowns like they did in the Cardinals game and have the funniest touchdown of the week or probably season. So,
is it in Tennessee or is it in New England?
Tennessee, I think.
Tennessee. No, that makes a difference. There are about 3,000.
Still have no chance.
Kian?
Oh, me, sorry. I was daydreaming then about what James does in his spare time watching fashion shows.
All right, mate, we get it. You said it 4 times now.
Right. No, to be honest with you, if the Titans can lose to us, then they're shy. Actually, this is 2 teams that lost to us, but the Titans, they're just a terrible team. And the Patriots have looked a lot better since that week 1 game against us. I just think there's no way they're going to lose this game. So now I've said that, lump on the Titans. But I can't see it. I can't see the Titans winning this game.
What's the spread? The Titans are just fucking shit, aren't they? I think they're just. Like I said, if New England lost this, then it'd be very, very embarrassing for them with how well they actually are playing. I think when the Dolphins played the Patriots, it was just. They were very good offensively. I just thought, I know we've got a decent offense, but I want to impress with the Patriots in that game. But watching them in other games, I thought, you know what, Drake May kind of is the real deal now. I think he's got a lot of weapons, so I think I'll be very surprised they lost this game.
I will say the spread for this game is only 7, and it's not the highest spread of the week.
The highest spread of the week should be. I forgot what the games are, I'll be honest.
I'll tell you when it comes up what the highest
Green Bay, Arizona.
I'll tell you when it comes up.
It should be that.
Panthers Jets.
Next up, the Browns versus the Dolphins. We actually have 2 of our teams on here going against each other. It doesn't happen all the time, but we have it here.
Why do you think I got him on this week?
We have it here, so we've all gone for the Dolphins. Which of you two wants to start? As it's your teams, I'm assuming Finn's going to be the one who wants to start.
But
Max,
Finn's
this-
the guest. Finn can pick himself at home.
This will definitely be the worst game of the week, hands down. What did you say, Max? It'll be 2-0.
2-0, yeah. They're gonna
Just to safety. But this game will be terrible. I think, what is it? You haven't scored more than 17 points.
Yeah.
But, mate, I don't
Not
know
the first time that's been mentioned on the podcast today either.
No, I
just
mention
think
it every week because it just keeps happening.
Every week.
we are very bad, but I don't think we're Browns bad. And
No one's Browns.
if we lose this game, then I don't know what I'll do, but I'll be very embarrassed. But let's put it that way.
If you lose this game, then we'll never see Finn on the podcast again. It's probably safe to say.
Or watching NFL ever again.
I'd retire. I'm that close to retiring anyway as a Browns fan. I don't want to watch this game. I might not watch this game. Actually.
You won't be, mate. You'll be in my car.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long does it take to get back from London? Just go the long way, seeing it route. So I ain't got
The long
route.
It does not take that long to get back from London, mate.
Come to Hull for a stop off, Max. You'll love it.
Yeah, we'll go to Hull. That'll be better.
Hull fair, don't you, minute, mate? I'm telling
Over the
you.
Super League champions.
Oh, he's done it as well. Right, no, we're not talking about rugby because that's shit. We're
Yeah,
one of you two talk. I don't want to talk about this game.
I'll talk then. Yeah, as you both sort of said, it's going to be an awful game. I was tempted for some stupid reason with the Browns just because the defense is actually quite good and neither of these offenses are exactly impressive. So if you're going to win it on defense, the Browns probably edge the Dolphins definitely defensively are better than the Dolphins. But I think when you got players like A-Chain and Waddle, who's going to be a giant in like a week, so that's fine. On the offense, then yeah, I just think there's too much quality there. So A-Chain on his own probably will run this game for the Dolphins. I imagine he'll have a lot of the ball, which is great news for my fantasy team. But yeah, I just can't see it for the Browns. I just think there's not enough offensive power to score points.
There's not
any game. So
There's not.
I just wonder how many games it takes for that bum to get into the game.
Funnily enough, though, the Browns are favourites on Bet365.
Why?
I don't know. You're 4-6, we're 5-4. But
Yeah, you're
This
actually
is what
Miami, that's the lump job of the week.
home
This is-
advantage.
this is a type of game that should always be referred to as El Spastico. I look at it and there's just nothing appealing about it.
There's nothing exciting, is there?
No, exactly. It's like you've got Chris Benoit at quarterback for starters. You're just seeing ghosts every time he goes out there. And the Browns, every time the Browns get on the field.
It's the battle of the left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks. I forgot about
Oh, Jesus
brilliant.
Christ. Yeah,
You know
can we
what?
move
Now
on,
you
Kim,
said
for the love of
that-
Christ?
Now you said that, I'm going to stop and we can watch it. Because that's unbelievable, mate. I'm glad I don't want to miss that. But no, terrible game. But I think the Dolphins are slightly
It's
less.
somehow worse than tonight's game.
that. The only difference
it is.
is that
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel's not played long enough to get CTE yet. In a few years, he will be Tua.
Moving on. I never thought I'd see the day this happened.
Come on.
A clean sweep for the Panthers to beat the Jets.
Well,
I was tempted, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I was tempted with the Jets purely because that I feel like that they won't lose every game this season, and it's going to end at some point. Although with how they've been playing, they could lose every game this season. Considering the Broncos put 13 points up on them, and they still couldn't outscore that with negative. This is my Justin Fields had negative 10 passing yards last week,
that's one of my first stats
All
ever.
four of us had more.
which is it's
What was it,
impressive
9
to have that little amount of passing yards in a game as a quarterback in what is an hour of football. Obviously, not you have the ball for an hour, but more than enough time to get more than -10. The Panthers look really good in their win against the Cowboys. Really, really impressive. Dowdle continues his form, which I'm not sure how sustainable it is for Rico Dowdle to be pulling out 200-yard games every week, but I didn't think it would carry on more than 1 week, and it did. But apparently Chuba Hubbard is fit and ready to go this week, so I think his carries will be limited compared to what they have been in the last 2 weeks, unless he is won the starting job, which you'd think he probably should have, based off the
Definitely
team.
earned some carries, you'd think.
Yeah.
He'll definitely get usage, especially on the receiving end of the ball as well, because he's been quite good at that in the last couple of games. But I'm going with the Panthers purely because I just think the Jets are just so bad, and I just can't back an 0-6 team in anything. And as I don't normally fall for the Bryce Young and the Panthers hype, but I'm going to fall for it this week because it's the Jets, and I feel like it's a safe bet. So I'm going with the Panthers as is everyone else. Max?
I've got my Justin Fields jersey on today, but I don't trust him behind this Jets offensive line or with any of the Jets weapons. Even Garrett Wilson's not playing that amazingly. They are winless, and the Panthers look pretty decent, as I said in the review part of the video. So it was a no-brainer, really. Panthers all day.
Ian?
Yeah, the Jets are terrible. There's not much else to be said about it. And I think, for me, even if Hubbard is back fit, I think Dowdle should get the majority of the carries. Like you said, I think he probably should have won that job. But apart from that, it could be a whitewash. I don't see anything exciting about the Jets at the minute, to be honest.
Finn?
No, yeah, there's literally, again, it's going to be a very boring game where it could very much be a whitewash with, Panthers will score, they'll score more than 40. So that's my little prediction. I'll be very surprised the Jets score more than 10 because Justin Fields is just very, very shit.
Whoa.
One of my mates said to me like last week, he was like, I think Justin Fields is quite underrated. Then he put out that performance with he was sacked 9 times. So
I think we all said this last week as well after a couple of good games.
We did.
I will also preface that the Broncos had 9 sacks in that game. 9 in one game.
Nick Benito.
A few of them were his fault, though.
No, but a large majority were.
That's what I said. A few of them were his fault.
8 were his fault.
We'll move on, and I believe, I'll just click to make sure, we have the highest spread of the week, sat at 12 for this game.
Yeah.
Is it?
Nearly more than double the next highest.
What was the Panthers one? That card.
The Panthers is 1.5.
What?
It depends what Bryce turns up, I suppose.
The Panthers at a 1.5. The Giants is actually the joint second highest spread with 7-point underdogs against the Broncos.
That's ridiculous.
The Chiefs against the Raiders. Go on, Kian, get your depression out of the way.
They could put fucking Jackson Mahomes out there and they still beat us. Honest to God, we're fucking pony. I don't want to go on about Geno too much. I've already done that on this episode. That'll get boring. But how many picks do we think he'll throw in this game? That's a better prediction game.
I'm going to go 4.
I'm going for 3.
1.
1? That's optimistic. Good game, Gino.
Because you'll try and run it 3 times with Genty every time, so you won't actually get many chances to pass. So we won't get many chances to throw picks.
Well, if we weren't fucking brain dead, we'd have been doing
How many passing attempts then?
I go like under 30.
I hate the guy. And I hate the whole organisation. So give me the Chiefs. But this is actually I was a bit depressed about the Titans win. If we beat these, I'd be happy. I hate them. But they're going to win this game. Fuck me. Yeah, kill me. And we're all going to see Taylor Swift fucking dancing around. Piss off. But yeah, I've had enough of this franchise. Move on.
Finn?
Chiefs by 40. That's all I've got.
40. Is it in Kansas as well?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll go Chiefs by 50 then. We'll put it up.
This is where the upset of the week comes in and the Raiders win.
No.
Yeah, all right, let's get back on back.
Yeah, we said there's no chance, but half the teams last week who ended up winning. So
there's no way the Raiders win this game. I'm sorry, they're fucking.
If we win this game, I will write Geno Smith an apology letter and send it to the Raiders facility.
Max, you make sure that goes in the edit, please.
Of course I will. I'll clip it out. I think they could put what's his face, Raiola out there at QB.
Say Raiola, yeah.
Probably do a job.
The joke's on you, James. Even if that's in the edit, I can't write. So that's not fucking point me even trying.
Journalism degree, by the way. Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs. It's fairly straightforward. As I said, there's always that random upset, and I never know where to throw it in my predictions, but I can't do it. I just can't. There's nothing I've seen from the Raiders to make me back them, especially with how much better the Chiefs have been in the recent couple of weeks. So, yeah, unfortunately, the inevitable Chiefs will move up to, I believe they go over 500 with this win, or they already are, and they're going to extend it. Yeah, the Chiefs are back, unfortunately, and it's really depressing for everyone involved that isn't a Kansas City Chiefs fan or a Taylor Swift fan. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs. Max?
I literally don't have anything other to say other than Chiefs by 40. Really, like there's no way that the Raiders.
If that's all you got to say, then we'll move on to.
Bears
Can
down.
I just say one more thing about Kansas while we're here?
Okay.
They might be a better team than all of us, but at least we don't have sexual relations with our cousins. So we're the real winners here.
Yeah, fair.
Move on to this
Yeah.
game.
I don't know. I've been all so.
Yeah, true, actually.
The Saints versus the Bears.
Bear down.
And last week I was the only one, surprisingly, to back the Bears, and it ended up being right. And now everyone's joined me this week, as everyone is very much in bear down mood to see them beat the
Who
Saints.
are you?
Don't I like you were the one first on the Bears bandwagon. That was me and Kian.
Yeah, but you abandoned them. I didn't abandon them.
I would never abandon the Bears.
You did last week. You backed the Commanders. Both of you.
Win.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll go with the Bears. The Saints are such a weird team. Like, they came out that one good game, shock horror against us, and they've just disappeared back into irrelevancy again. Spencer Rattler might be the best one win a season quarterback the NFL will ever see, because he's actually not awful, but the Saints are. So I just can't not back into the Bears coming off what is a big win against the Commanders for their season. I believe the Bears are 4-2, by the way, which is mental, to say the least. But
Fact checking you.
Yeah,
you got to agree. I saw a TikTok on it earlier that they have that record. But if not, either way, they've got more wins than what I probably thought they would have done going into the season. 3-2, is it?
3-2, yeah, then a bye week.
Oh yeah, right.
I was trying to fact check you, but my app's changed. There's a new layout, and I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it confused me earlier.
yeah.
I'm going with the Bears. I just think there's too much quality in this Bears team, and they're coming off a massive win, so their confidence levels will be through the roof after a big win against the Commanders. So give me the Bears and bear down. Max?
They're down. The Saints are kind of terrible, and they beat the Giants. Lol. Bears coming off a big primetime win. They want to carry on the momentum. The thing I said last few weeks ago now was they need to keep consistency after they got that first win, and they have done, even through a bye week. So I think this is a good game to keep it going. Roma Dunze is going to go off. My good friend Caleb Williams is going to go off. And DeAndre Swift is going to go off again for my fantasy, which he won me the week last week. So once again, he is my friend. And he has massive fucking hands. Like his
hands are huge. They're terrifying. Fucking shovels. I think we're finally starting to see the players that we expected we were going to see when they appointed Ben Johnson. They didn't start off great. They struggled in that game against the Vikings, first game of the season. But I feel like since that blocked kick against us, everything's sort of changed. They looked really good again the other night. Sort of flipped the script on the Commanders based on last year. Obviously, last year the Commanders won that game with the Hail Mary. This time it was a walk-off field goal by Jake Moody, of all people. But yeah, it's nice to see the Bears doing well. I feel like a good NFL season has a good Bears team in it. So give me the Bears.
Finn?
Yeah, going back off what Kane said really about last week having a really, really good win, and then obviously the Saints are really, really shit. Like I said before, about there's a lot of really, really bad teams this year, and I think the Saints are one of them in that bottom period of where the 1-5 teams who are just terrible, and I think the Bears will walk this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I will say Caleb Williams said in an interview after their win that he'd never heard of Jake Moody before he came into the team a couple of days before the game, which is quite funny.
Too busy painting his nails, but he's my friend. It's fine.
Yeah, so pretty straightforward one, I think, for most of us on that one. And oh my fuck, yeah, I would never thought I'd see this happen.
If we had a guest on, this would be a full Giant sweep.
It would be a Giant sweep, which is mental against the Denver Broncos, but I suppose I should start being the resident Giants fan. Yeah, I've actually got belief again, which means it's going to come crushing down when we get battered in this game inevitably. But my theory is if we walk into Denver and we win this game, our season is definitely not over and our division is wide open yet again, because we would, depending on the Eagles result, we could be one win out of top spot, which would be ridiculous. And I don't think anyone would have seen that coming. And then also playing the Eagles the next week as well, we'd have a chance to potentially take top spot in the NFC East, which would be borderline insanity. But I don't know. I just have belief. We look so good against the Eagles. Like I don't think I've seen a performance like that from us. Fuck no, since probably Eli was quarterback when we won the Super Bowl. Like that sort of levels of years ago, it's been since we played that well in a game. or I've had this much faith in the organisation. Even when we had the playoffs with Daniel Jones, I still had no fucking faith. But we've got two unbelievable players in Dart and Scatterboo. I think it's safe to say Scatterboo could already be labelled the steal of the draft, getting him in the 4th round, I believe it was, to be arguably one of, if not the best running backs so far this season. Not saying he will be for his whole career, because his career will be over in 2 years because he's headbutting walls too much. But yeah, I just kind of believe I wouldn't. Again, I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest if we lose this game. If we do, I just hope we give a good account of ourselves and we keep the momentum going with certain things. I think the defense, it's just a secondary. Like the D line's getting better and better every week. You've got Abdul Carter finally growing into his role as an edge rusher. You've got Brian Burns, obviously, I believe he's 3rd in sacks in the NFL, a heavy DPOI candidate so far. And you still got Dexter Lawrence. You've still got the Kayvon Thibodeau, who's looked way better this year than he has basically any other season for us. So there's so much talent in this team. The offense is getting better. And hopefully we trade for Waddle, because that'll be great.
You fucking done yet?
No. I need to enjoy it while it lasts, because next week I'll be depressed again when we've lost this game by like 20 points.
Fucking Blaze Fest, man. Get over with it. Come on.
But yeah, Broncos also look crap against the Jets, so that's my sort of faith for this. So yeah, give me the Giants.
I like the exciting whites. That's about it. But there's just no way that you're allowed to be happy on this podcast. This podcast doesn't do happiness.
No.
We do depression. And
Do I not bring happiness?
No, you don't get happiness. You're a Dolphins fan. You don't get happiness.
I think if we combined all of our team's records last year, we wouldn't have made the playoffs.
We wouldn't. We were
wouldn't.
the top 6 picks of the draft, us 3. I don't know. Where were the Dolphins picking? Like
We got 12.
12.
We picked 12 or 13, I think.
So we're all in the bottom half. We don't do
we were pick 3. You were pick 2 originally.
The only other guest we've had on is Andy, who was also a Dolphins fan. We don't get good teams on this podcast. It doesn't happen.
I'm personally going to mute James on all socials when this game's on, because it's going to be like having a conversation with Bonnie Blue, the amount of cock he'll be sucking on both sides. Because, I mean, firstly, you've got all the Giants players who he can't stop ramming down his throat, but he's not forgot about old baby boy Nix in the corner. He still wants to bum him. So it's going to be an absolute wank fest in James's student accommodation watching this one. So I'm glad I'm in the car driving and not sat with him. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish that sentence. Anyway.
Big old wank fest and we were watching the Victoria's Secret show.
Oh, fuck, it's not even the fucking... I thought it was a 6 o'clock game. It's not.
It's not. It's 9.
9 o'clock, yeah.
And go for that. I'll make sure to bring you some Kleenex and some lotion so you can enjoy this game to its full length. But yeah, apart from that, the Broncos look terrible, but just managed to win against the Jets. I don't think they'll have the same fortune against the other New York team. So reluctantly give me the Giants. But James, please don't make it look like a pepperoni by the end of the game, because it really could do.
To be fair, this is in Denver, and obviously mile high. It's a mile in the air. Cam Scatterbow's got serious mental problems. The altitude might affect his brain.
I feel like it's going to fuel him even more, just to be even more special and just run.
What if he gets altitude sickness, though?
He might get altitude sickness.
Yeah, but he'll just keep running.
That's the least of his worry.
He'll probably just run through someone, throw up, and then carry on.
And then do a fucking backflip.
Yeah. Doing a backflip on MetLife turf every time he scores is a dangerous, dangerous game to play, by the way. I will say that. Every time he goes up, I'm shitting myself. He's
fucking wolf.
He's going to have CTE and an ACL.
Finn?
Obviously, the one who has picked the Bronx this week, but I think last week, obviously, you said they were really shit against the Jets, and I think they will have a bit of a bounce back week. I think it'll be actually quite a good game. Yeah, I think the Bronx will just edge it. That's my only really thing about it.
I love that sounds like an outrageous opinion when that is more than fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it should not sound that outrageous. Like, it is absolutely fair that the Broncos could probably beat us.
Yeah, but obviously, how good you was last week, I think it could go either way. But I thought I'd just go with the Bronx.
We seem to be alternating at the minute. Because the Chargers, amazing. Saints, horrendous. Eagles, amazing. So this might be a horrendous week, and then we'll beat the Eagles again next week.
No, you won't.
What if the Eagles again next week as well? Well,
yeah,
you're not going to beat them again. I promise you.
No,
I know we won't. But if we did, it would be fucking hilarious. Because then we actually would be in with a chance within our division to get into the playoffs. Which, if you said to me,
don't do that here. We don't have division winners.
I was going to say, well, you got the for the pod. We've both had playoffs recently, Max. Just not very good.
But the podcast didn't exist.
Keane, you had playoffs. Oh, you didn't have playoffs recently, have
We
you?
lost. We lost
Yeah,
to the
fair.
Bengals in 2021. We haven't
There you
won one since 2003, James. Let's not go there.
Could be worse.
Yeah, Finn,
Yeah, true.
how did your playoff run go?
Yeah, it gets longer every year, mate. I think we played.
We won't have to worry about a playoff run this year.
No, definitely not.
No.
But what do you mean? We're gonna go 12-5 now. I'm telling you, it starts this week.
On that note, I'm going to move on. The Chargers, Colts, and Keane's gone different here. Again, I'm not exactly surprised because I was tempted, but I'll let you start, Keane, as being the one who's not agreed with everyone here.
I still think we're sort of underestimating the Colts a little bit. They've been really good, but I think because of Daniel Jones, people don't want to give them that credit. But they have actually been really good. Yeah, people include James. But I mean, don't get me wrong. This is like 50% what I think will happen. 50% I hate the Chargers. So I did
think that was the driving force behind this one.
If the top Chargers team, the top Colts team shows up, then they will give them a good game. But I don't know. I just wanted to go different because otherwise it would have been very boring. But yeah, give me the Colts.
To be fair, the Chargers, like with the run they're on, it's not outrageous at all.
No,
especially with the Colts being. Are they 4-1 or 5-1? They haven't had their bye.
5 now.
They haven't had the bye yet, so yeah, they're doing very well. As much as I really hate to say it, but I basically just said I'm just blanket banning myself from backing the Colts basically all season because I don't want to. I'd rather lose predictions than back Daniel Jones. Don't know how it's happened. I think even the Colts fans are confused. Probably Daniel Jones even confused how he's been so good in the first 6 games.
He's never not confused.
He looks confused with him.
Yeah, true.
No, I'll say Max, where's the impression?
Here we go.
I'm going with the Chargers. I think again, this one will just come down to quality. There's 2 good teams. I think the Colts. It sounds mad because if it's a good team, it's a good team. They shouldn't be due a loss, but I think they are due a loss. And I think the Chargers need a win to sort of bounce back from what's been a rough couple of weeks for them. So I think they need a win this week if they want to keep their. Well, I suppose with the Chiefs as well, obviously, the lead they had over the Chiefs has basically evaporated now into nothing. So they need to keep up with them now rather than maintain the lead. So I think they need this one. Otherwise, the division is going to fall out of their grasp very, very quickly. So I'm going with the Chargers. Max?
They're wearing some really nice yellow uniforms this week. Don't know if you've seen that. They look nice. So with the power of the yellow uniforms and Madison Beer, I think the Chargers can get the win every time. And the Colts. No analysis. Just that.
Ben?
I'm actually excited to see Madison Beer back on my screen, to be honest. That's why. And this is where the Colts' good start to the season ends. This is where they're on a streak of just loss after loss after loss. I wish it's going to
Please be right. Please be right.
But yeah, I'm just happy. I just want to see Madison Beer back on my screen, to be honest.
James, was Madison Beer not on your screen last night?
Yeah, she was, mate. Great viewing. That's basically the entire reason I let it get put on. Next.
I can't believe this isn't the biggest spread of the week.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the Packers haven't been all too convincing in the last couple of weeks. I think that's the only thing. No, I know. I'm surprised it's the Raiders, in all fairness. Not saying they're good, but like they're not surely.
Why? What are you surprised about?
You're not more than double worse than the Cardinals against the Packers.
What are you surprised about?
Your games haven't been that far apart in points, even when you've lost.
Use your brain, man. We're shit.
12-point underdogs is nuts. A divisional game as well. No, this one could have a contender to be the biggest spread of the week. The Cardinals are just bad, aren't they? They're just bad. If you lose to the Titans, you're a bad team. I don't care what record you've got. You shouldn't be considered for anything good if you lose to the Titans. Considering the Raiders beat them, I think that says everything that you need to say about them. Yeah, I'm still not convinced with the Packers. I just think, not saying they won't win this game because they will, but as far as a team, as people say, Super Bowl, I'm not convinced at all that is where they can get to. I think they're still not even the best team in their own division. But the talent's there. They need to make it click. I feel like a big win here for them after a couple of... They've won or lost, but not by much, being like low-scoring games. So I think they need sort of that breakout win to get a bit more confidence behind them because I think they're a good team. They're just a bit inexperienced in certain parts of the field. So I think it would be unsurprising to see them get a big win against the Cardinals. But again, with the NFL, how it's been the last couple of weeks, the Cardinals probably win it by 20 points, so fucking stupid. But I'm going with the Packers. Max?
I need a big game from Romeo Dobbs for fantasy. I know that.
Yeah, I need a big game from Jordan Love as well.
Yeah, I think the Packers should honestly. This would be the biggest spread of the week for me. I think they should absolutely walk it. The Cardinals look atrocious.
It's only 6.5.
And half their team, I believe, was limited in practice in this week. So
that's probably a good thing for them because their team fucking dog shit anyway. So just give a chance to some of the young guys. They might do a job. They looked all right last season. I think when we did like a mid-season sort of episode where we did like predictions for it, I think I had the Cardinals making it because they had like a bit of a spell in the last season when they looked quite good. But this year, I don't think that's going to happen. They look fucking dog shit. So give me the Packers.
Ken?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. I'm not really as sold on the Packers as I was after that Week 1 win.
Why is that, Keith? Who beat them?
Well, you absolute set of idiots. Somehow managed to get one over the line against them, and that didn't help. But yeah, I just think the Cardinals, for me, are not that team. Kyler Murray needs to be put under a lot more scrutiny. I know he didn't play. He didn't play this weekend, did he?
No, it's Jacoby.
But I think he needs to be put under more scrutiny. I think he's in like year 8. And
we said this on the preseason episode about how we've got as many combined wins in the playoffs as Kyler Murray. No.
Yeah, and he just.
You can probably say that for a lot of NFL quarterbacks.
He gets overlooked. Well, that's because of his height, and you actually can't look at him. Makes sense, but I don't get it. I feel like he needs to be brought under a lot of pressure, and I think they'll lose this game because they're not a very good team.
Finn?
Yeah, I don't know what to say about the Packers one this week. I'm just 1 week I think they're unbelievable, and the next week I think not as good as I thought he was, but they'll still win this convincingly because Arizona are just really, really shit.
I'm glad you said, Kian, about the whole Kyler Murray thing because I think this is probably the make or break year for him in his career because if he doesn't do it this year, I think he's in big trouble of the Cardinals, especially with a high draft pick, which is a little bit what they're going to get. If they keep losing games in the way that they are, they might look for a quarterback in this year's draft. I'm not saying I would because the class is going to be dog shit, but they probably will. Teams are desperate, and I think they might end up being one of them if he continues his awful run of form, if he even plays this week, because he was limited on practice on Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to see if they go with Brissett again. Probably better for them if they do. Next, and a bit of differential for a change, we have an NFC East matchup. The Cowboys versus the Commanders. I personally hope the stadium gets bombed and both teams lose. But unfortunately, that can't happen. Well, it could.
Well, it can.
Well, it could. It could. So fingers crossed. But in the rounds of reality, it probably won't happen.
It won't happen, or they're going to see this and you're getting arrested. It's like a terrorist organisation or something.
Yeah, I flew all the way there in like a day's notice to go bloody blow out. I've gone with the Commanders. I really didn't know what to do with this. This was probably one of the tougher ones, not because both teams are good, because I just don't think both teams are very good at all, and which team is going to be slightly less shit than the other. But the Cowboys coming off a loss to the Panthers makes me sway their way a bit because they'll be angry and they'll want to win, and their offense is good. It has provided a lot of points so far this season, but the defense is terrible and has given up a lot of points this season, so it's really hard to balance with them. Commanders coming off a loss as well, which they're not going to be too happy about. So one of these teams, unless they fucking tie again, because the Cowboys seem to like doing that, there will be a team that goes back to winning ways, and I think the Commanders just have a bit more quality on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not saying there's much on there because it isn't, but I think it's slightly better than the Cowboys, and I rank the offenses in a fairly similar light. I think the Commanders should have Terry back this week as well, I believe, which would be a big boost for their offense. So I'm going with the Commanders. I think it'd be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended in a tie again. Max?
Kian, you go next. I'm looking at something.
Okay.
To be completely honest with you, I really couldn't pick this one. It was very, very close. I sort of went hard. Took me ages. And in the end, I just sort of went, do you know, it'd be funny if Jerry Jones lost again. So that's literally the whole premise of my pick here, because they're two very, very evenly matched teams. But I literally have just gone based on ownership group. So give me the Commanders and whoever the fuck owns them.
Finn?
This actually, wasn't my prediction. One of my mates is a big Cowboys fan, and he was basically raving to me of how good Dak Prescott has been this year. So he said at the start of the year, I'll give him this, that Dak will win MVP, but
You still won't.
No,
still-
that's Baker Mayfield's award.
It just won't be fucking Dak Prescott on a team that's going to win like 5 games.
yeah. So
Nah, he's having a good season, man.
from what I've heard, he's
If you
been
look for MVP, you'll never give it to a team that doesn't make the playoffs. Like a player on a team that doesn't make the playoffs. But you'd have to have like a ridiculous season to win it and not be in the playoffs.
yeah, but he was raving to me of how good he has been, and I thought, fuck it, let's go. Let's put trust in him, and then let's back the Cowboys. Sorry, but like Kean said, it's really, really tough this game. It could go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is a tie again or very, very close. So I've just gone with the Cowboys based off my mate's prediction of how good Dak has been this year, but I don't know. On the fence.
Max?
I don't think we'll see another tie. What I was looking at is Terry McLaurin wasn't at practice again.
He wasn't.
It's looking like he's going to miss out again, which is another big loss. He's scammed the fuck out of the Commanders, by the way. He got a new deal from them. He's barely played this season. But, yeah, I think the Cowboys just have enough on offense to do it. I don't think either of these teams have a particularly good defense, especially not the Cowboys. So I think it could be another shootout, a bit like the Green Bay game, but I don't think we'll see another tie. I think that's a bit daft. But it could be close. I don't be surprised either way. A bit like you've all said.
I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in overtime, put it that way.
Yeah.
I think that's very, very, very possible. Next up, the 49ers versus the Falcons, and we've all gone with the Falcons, I think probably heavily influenced by the result last weekend. Anyone want to start this one?
I'll start. It's a mixture of them beating the Bills as well as me just kind of being a fan of them all season because I quite like what I see from them, apart from that Panthers game that were weird. And also the 49ers are still sewn together by bandages and staples. I don't know how they're still functioning. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback this week. I should probably look, but I can't be bothered. But I honestly think Matt Jones has been having a better season than Brock Purdy when he's played, which is weird. But yeah, I think the Falcons are too good. Bijan Robinson is still fucking ridiculous. What was his touchdown the other day? Like 88 yards or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Something ridiculous like that. So,
I believe it was his first rush over 40-something yards in his career, by the way.
Really?
He's never run over like 42 yards in one rush before that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons all day.
Kian?
Yeah, I sort of agree with everything Max has just said. The Niners, it's not sustainable to keep putting square pegs in round holes. It can't keep happening. And to be honest with you, I just think the Falcons look really good against the Bills. But then we've seen it before where they've looked good and they've had a stupid loss. So it's one of them where, once again, I wouldn't be shocked if this was a Niners win. But I'm going to go with my gut, really, and say the Falcons will get this over the line.
Finn?
Is Purdy back, or is it still?
So I've just read, apparently, he was limited in Wednesday practice, but he is more restricted at the minute than Matt Jones is, but they're both nursing an injury. So the safer bet looks to be Matt Jones, apparently, but they don't actually know who's going to be the starter.
To be fair, Mac Jones had quite a decent year so far. Probably, like Max said, better than Purdy's, but they're just running out of players at this point. With Fred Warner out for the year now, I think they will start to struggle a bit more. A bit kind of like last year when they were running out of players. So I think the Falcons won't be a big win, but I think they'll win quite comfortably.
I'm very tempted to flip this purely because I think Kittle might be back for this week.
Can he play defense, quarterback?
If it's Matt Jones as well, I honestly have more faith in Matt Jones than I don't know. There's just something about what Kean said it as well. I really every time I sort of think the Falcons are good, they lose again, and now I think the Falcons are good. Yeah. I think they might lose again.
It doesn't. George Kittle doesn't matter because they've got Kyle Pitts at tight end, who has now found his way onto my fantasy team as well.
Has he done anything the last couple of weeks? I've not seen him.
I don't know. They had a bye week last week, and then they beat the Bills. But Pitts was on the bench anyway, so I don't know.
But the Bills are frauds, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Honestly,
and because I absolutely hate it.
I'm going to flip. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I don't want to fall into the trap of the Falcons. Every time I do it, they lose. And there's just some, I don't know what it is. You're coming from winning against the Bills. I think you might get complacent playing the pretty injured 49ers team as well. Get a bit too confident. I think it'll come back to bite them.
I think it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, probably. But, someone's got to be different for the sake of just anything. Just
look at me. I'm indifferent.
The spread is...
No, I'm not having it from you, who's fucking picked the most random shit most weeks. It's the first week you've got normal predictions.
What?
I mean, you were backing stupid. You backed the Browns 4 times this season.
All right, God forbid a white boy have faith in his team.
Yeah, every week you say you've got no faith, and then you back them.
No, I've got no faith now. It's fully gone now.
Okay, right, you've lost it now. I'm flipping.
Favorites.
Yeah, I'm flipping. Give me the 49ers. I think they'll just be it'll be a close game. And
Go.
Not falling into the Falcons trap. Give me the Niners just for a bit of difference. Next, and speaking of a bit of difference, this has to be game of the week, I think, by probably a landslide. 2 very, very good teams, but the Lions coming off a disappointing result, whereas the Bucs coming off a very encouraging result last week. So Max, it looks like, but also we did see Emeka Egbuka go down with an injury. I believe he is not going to play this week, which is a big loss for the Bucs. Not saying they necessarily need him because Baker seems to be able to throw the ball to anyone because Tez Johnson looked unbelievable, but losing what was a heavy, even offensive player of the year, an offensive rookie of the year candidate, it's going to be big, but you're still going to back them, Max.
Yep. This isn't me just being different either, because I think this is a fair choice. I don't think this is out of the realms of possibility whatsoever. Baker Mayfield is a fucking dog, and I backed against him, and it bit me in the ass. So I'm going to stop doing that, because I always say never back against Baker. He can literally make a pass to anyone on the field. Like you said about that Tez Johnson catch, that was fucking ridiculous. Godwin's back now as well, so they've got someone there. K-Dot's not too bad. I'm really hoping that Bucky Irving comes back for fantasy, because my running backs are dog shit, but I don't think he's gonna, so that's annoying. But I still think they'll win another close one.
Kian?
I think actually people forget about Baker Mayfield is he's only in this position now because he had that clutch gene on a Thursday night for the Rams when they played against the Raiders, and he drove, I think it was 98 yards down the field and saved his career. If he doesn't do that, he's probably not in this position. So, I do struggle to back against him. I know I am. But it's mainly just on the premise of, the Lions are an unbelievable team, and they're going to be very pissed off. I think they probably saw that as a big opportunity against the Chiefs last week to make a bit of a statement. And it sort of came and backfired. And they weren't great against the Bengals either, so they've not been great for the last 2 weeks. So I think now is the time to try and make that statement and, move back. I think are they still top of the division?
Yeah.
Just to try and win the game, solidify that sort of thing.
You know what I think that is, again, proven to be the best in the NFL. I think they're all positive records at the minute.
Yeah.
Green Bay top of the division, so.
Is Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it the same record or are they higher?
They had the bye week, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Shit. But yeah, give me the Lions. I just think this is one where Baker's clutch gene isn't going to make up for the Lions just being a great team.
Finn?
Yeah, I think like Ian said, the Lions are an unbelievable team when they want to play. And to be fair, same with the Bucs, I think. But with the injuries that the Bucs have had, I think the Lions will just edge this one. But now I know why Max has said Baker Mayfield for MVP, because he's going to just continuously back them every week now, isn't he? But yeah, I think, again, bit too much quality on the Lions lineup, so I'm just edging towards the Lions. But again, yeah, it probably will be game of the week.
Yeah, again, it's definitely what Max said. It's not outrageous about the Bucs in this at all. I was very tempted. I think most of us probably weighed on this one a bit.
Yeah.
But I just think with the Bucs, I don't know. I just think the Lions are just so good, and again, they're going to be fuming after last week. They're going to want to put it right. They need a big result to sort of solidify themselves as true contenders, because after last year, everyone thought they'd go all the way, at least to the Super Bowl, and it didn't end up panning out that way. A disappointing playoff loss. So I think they're going to want to be that team this year in the NFC, and they're more than capable. They've shown it a couple of times this season that they can be that team.
But I
and
also
even-
think that Tampa Bay could be that team this year.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah. This is two
Yeah.
very good teams. To not take anything away from the Bucks by me backing the Lions. Yeah, this is two very, very good teams, and I would not be shocked if this result goes either way. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be a great game to watch. Finally, a good primetime pick.
I think it's a Lions need a statement win. I think in
Yeah.
a not so easy division where they're not going to walk it. I think it'll be a good statement win if they manage to get it. But I think if the Bucks win, it'll be an even bigger of a statement win.
I was going to say, yeah, if the Bucks win this, I feel like they have to be the leading team in the entire
to
NFL.
win this.
Yeah, they have to be the favourites to win the Super Bowl.
The earlier Monday game, in it.
Yeah, because in the other Monday game, like 3 a.m, something like that.
Yeah, it's another 3 a.m.
Is it?
I'm glad that this is the one that's on at a reasonable time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say. Well, we'll guess we'll move on to the 3 a.m. game, and it looks like we're all predicting this to be a pretty boring one, as it always tends to be with the fucking Texans. The Seahawks versus Texans, and we've all gone with the Seahawks to win this one. I think it's hard to back against them with the form that they've been in as of recent, and coming off a big win against the Jags, who impressed us all in the opening few weeks of the season. Yeah, I mean, I'll just get them out of the way. I've pretty much said it all there. Not convinced with the Texans this year. CJ Stroud's been off it again. I think, he's just not hitting the levels that we expected him to after his amazing rookie year, it has to be said. I just think the Seahawks been really good. I think they don't have, bar maybe like JSN, there's not really many standout superstars. It's just a team of very good players, and they all sort of come together. I mean, even their draft pick, it wasn't flashy, but Gray Zabel's been really, really good for them since he came in. Really, really impressed with that pick, and it was obviously going to be the safe pick. Improves 100%. Yeah, JSN has been brilliant. I don't know if he's top 5, I believe, in receiving yards. I don't know where in the top 5 he actually falls.
He's top 8. I thought I read
he could. He might well be top. He's been brilliant. Coming off, I believe, 165 yards last week. I want to say something like that.
He's incredible, man.
Yeah, he's 23 as well. He's very good.
He's really, really good. And I just think Darnold's not regressed as many people thought he might. He's arguably getting even better per week, which is mental. The career revival he's gone through. Sort of a similar thing to Baker, really, reviving his career in the, later on when no one really expected it to happen. He's doing a similar sort of thing now, which is nice to see. But yeah, give me the Seahawks. I just think there's too much quality in the Seahawks team. The Texans have been poor, so I just can't see them winning this. Max?
Jackson Smith and Jigba's going to account for over 20 points just on his own, just based on his touchdown.
So good.
He's fucking incredible. Ohio State is wide receiver U. James, you can sit there shaking your head.
Off.
Black Welsh cunt. But it's wide receiver U. Him, Ibuka, Olave, all the guys, Garrett Wilson, they're all dogs. And the Texans are with
There is interesting.
Another Ohio State player on the Texans. Obviously, I've got his jersey knocking around somewhere. But he's been off it since his rookie season, really. And I think it continues here. Did they have a bye week last week, or were they just that shit?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, what so? So they're coming off a bye. They've got no momentum after getting a couple wins under the belt against the Titans and the Ravens. And I think the Seahawks will be wanting to continue their momentum. So it should be straightforward. And I will not be awake at 3 a.m. to watch this game.
Why? You haven't got a job, though. So you've got now to do Monday, so you might as well.
How about I get you on the podcast, Finn? That's
Well,
he's invited back after that one, though.
Yeah.
Kian?
If anyone's staying up till 3 a.m. to watch this, then please have a long, hard look in the mirror. Because this is
I would say unless they're a Seahawks or Texans fan, but even then I probably
no,
wouldn't.
even then, go to bed.
yeah. If you've got work on Monday morning, then I wouldn't.
Just don't bother.
Even if you have work, I won't bother.
Max, this game slightly, I struggle to get excited by it. I think everything that needed to be covered has been covered. I've not been impressed by the Texans since CJ Stroud's rookie year, and it just continues every single week. So give me the Seahawks, and let's just pretend this game never happened.
Finn?
Yeah, I just think JSN is just unbelievable, and it's good to see that he's getting some really good recognition because he's above receivers like your Puka Nakuas, your George Pickens, Jamar Chase. It's just nice to see someone above them, but they've had a really good year so far, and I am convinced by the Texans. I like CJ Stroud, but they've had quite a tough year so far, and obviously they just come off a bye there, haven't they? So
Yeah.
they're gonna like I said, we've got no momentum, so it's good just to. I think the Seahawks will walk this one, but no one's staying up to 3 a.m. to watch this. I like to see the views that it has in the UK, but I'll be if you stay up to 3 o'clock to watch this, then you need to seriously, like Keane said, have a hard look in the mirror and just seriously what you're doing with your life. But yeah, Seahawks very good. Texans not very good, so Seahawks will walk this.
To be fair, I've been complaining about some of the primetime games being shit, but I don't mind the 3 a.m. one being shit because
No.
Because you can watch them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I will say as well, I can't wait for next week's review episode where we pretend like we watch this game and we try and give insight on the game that we genuinely want to watch a snap of.
I don't pretend.
No.
I literally start every game by saying, I didn't watch this. I looked at the score. It looks good.
I'm glad we didn't do a review. I saw none of the games last week.
No, I saw anything last week.
I actually watched basically all of them for a change, which never normally happens.
And I'm supposed to be the jobless one.
Yeah.
And he watches fashion shows.
On that note, we're done for this week. Thank you very much for watching. As always, thanks for Finn for joining us this week. And we will hopefully see you all next week for a separate review episode, but if not, you'll get this again. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all next week.